IELTSpeaking.ca. Part 2 and 3 model answers for the topic of information that is not correct. Here is the Part 2 topic about information that is not correct. And here are the Part 3 questions related to this topic. Later, I will give you Band 8 and 9 model responses to Part 2 and 3 of this topic. To get a Band 7 or higher, one thing you can do is focus on improving your lexical resource, which is 25% of your IELTS speaking score. You can do this by using less common items that are typical of native English speakers. Be precise or more accurate with your language. And choose more accurate word choices, that is, make less mistakes. Also use good collocation. Those are words that commonly go together. And you want to be able to have a wide resource to handle a variety of topics. You don't have to be perfect at a Band 7, but you should try to employ some of these strategies. Now I'm going to give you the model answer to the Part 2 topic about information that is not correct. Every once in a while, I like to watch videos to learn something fun and interesting. One weekend, when I was with my young nephew, we were looking to fill up some time by making and flying some paper airplanes. He was inexperienced at folding paper in the right way for anything origami related. So instead of showing him about how I did it, I decided to search for a video on YouTube that provided simple instructions. After entering in some relevant keywords in the search box, we came across a video helping him to do it. Or at least I hope so. I never watched this video before, but based on the number of views, the title, and the high percentage of likes, I believed that there was a good chance that it would be helpful. However, after watching the video together and carefully following all of the detailed folding instructions a couple of minutes in, we found out that this was not the right video for what we had intended. The title was deceptively called something like "Make the Best Paper Airplane," but the result was actually surprising and far from our expectations. We believe that we were more than halfway through from having a super result, but the video creator who we were watching decided to give up. He crumpled up the half-built plane into a paper ball and threw it into the garbage. And from what I remember said, "That's the world's best paper airplane." We were so surprised about this sudden change, but instead of feeling disappointed, we just couldn't hold back our laughs since it was really funny. In fact, we watched the video again and then decided to make paper balls instead. That's all that I remember about the content from this strange but hilarious video. Thank you. Here's some Part 2 vocabulary from this response. Now, let's move on to Part 3. When you are asked Part 3 questions, try not to repeat the same vocabulary that the examiner used in their questions. You want to be able to show a good range of vocabulary, and you could do this by using synonyms. Here are the questions again. And now, I'm going to give you the model responses at Band 8 and 9 level. Well, some jobs need to do it more than others. The first job that comes to my mind is teaching. Working in education is all about communication. Teachers need to explain to students in a way that they can easily understand. And they also need to be willing and able to communicate various information to parents as well. Other professions that need a high level of information giving are lawyers, journalists, and maybe even doctors. It really depends on the circumstances. When discussing something personal or urgent, I think it's more suitable to do it by telephone, as you are able to engage more emotionally and immediately. In a real-time conversation over the telephone, it is also easier to answer a lot of questions and go back and forth on the questions until everything is clarified. However, most people don't take notes when they call, so having a written record from emailing seems like the easier option in certain circumstances. For most small things, I think emailing is more appropriate since you're not interrupting anyone. Why? Providing information requires a lot of skills that not everyone is effective at. Before knowing what to provide, you'll have to gather meaning by actively listening to ensure that the communication exchange is what was intended. Then, when giving information, besides having the knowledge of what you want to say, you'll need to use all five senses whenever possible. This can include varying your tone and pace, using visuals, and maintaining eye contact. Some people are strong in many or all of these abilities, but a lot still lack some. This will involve some kind of critical evaluation of what was said or written. First, I think people should try to understand the context of the situation. Knowing why the person is saying what they are saying can help in the evaluation of their message. It also helps to be knowledgeable about the subject matter being discussed. Cross-checking by reading from various sources will make you wiser. Then, after acquiring a fair bit of knowledge, you'll be able to better judge whether or not the message is flawed in any way. While there are many websites created from established institutions that have a proven track record of reliability, there are probably more that are not so reliable. This causes a lot of wrong information, whether it is intentional or not, to be online. Unfortunately, because of the decentralized nature and structure of the internet, writers can easily publish content without being required to subject to peer review, prove their qualifications, or provide backup documentation. While with a lot of gatekeepers closely observing what's going on, misinformation will continue to spread. This is a fairly broad question because we are now being overloaded with information in various ways, including through news channels, social media, messaging, advertising, websites, you name it. The internet truly has turned our lives upside down. When talking about changes in the news, for instance, in the past we used to have to rely on morning newspapers or evening TV programs to get random news. Now we can get focused minute-by-minute news sent to us through different apps or search engines that use advanced search-based algorithms which determine what news may interest us. I'm not saying that I fully like it, but we are now living in a crazy, fast-paced, 24-hour information-driven world that is showing no sign of slowing down. Thank you for watching.